Powerful stuff already today. And speaking of power, we have it coming for you all in the form of our next panel, which is actually aptly titled the Business Gift Power Panel, with three leaders in all things business gifts: Mr. Andy Jeanty, Mr. John Klobe, and Mr. Rob Robincheck. Now, I particularly appreciate the care and the time that they have prepped for today's message, because what they're going to do is they're going to work off each other for the duration of the message. So, as such, I'm actually going to introduce all three of them right here, turn it over to them, and let them roll with it. So, I'm going to start with Andy. All right. Andy started in 2001, 20 years in September, guys. That is awesome. Career sales of 4.4 million. And ladies and gentlemen, you will soon be seeing and hearing from the all-time #1 rep in career sales for Vector East. And in addition to his own sales, Andy has mentored 5 people to win a Rolex and mentored 6 people to become Silver Cup champions. That is truly a wow for sure. Has broken the Eastern Region SC2 record 8 times in a row, twice over $100,000. Now, how's that for some consistency? His influence has been and continues to be felt in all corners of the business. I don't know how many of you guys realize this, but he was one of the original pioneers and consultants for our federal program. And now with his eyes on our business gift program, he sold over $93,000 in business gifts in the last 3 years, beginning to add this as a layer to his business. Obviously, his charitable work and his personal work knows no bounds. He is the VP of Angel Wings International and helps run the medical clinic that provides medical care 24/7 in the city of Jacmel, Haiti. Mr. John Klobe. All right, let me find him because I'm going to pin that fine gentleman up here as well. There he is. Look at that guy. Mr. John Klobe started selling Cutco in 2004 and is just over 2.9 million in career sales every week, coming closer to that 3 million mark that I know that we're all going to be very excited to see him hit and celebrate this milestone accomplishment with him. Has sold over 700,000 in business gifts with several orders between 10 and 50,000. Largest business gift order, $103,000, which helped him win the Silver Cup in 2018. President's Club winner numerous times, and he actually holds one of the highest distinctions that I don't even know if he himself is aware of. John Klobe is one of my favorite GroupMe posters in the GroupMe game today. A great sense of humor and wit, in addition to being a leader in our business gift community. John has been married to his wife Randy for 10 years and has 4 children. I want to spotlight these two gentlemen for a second because Andy and John are the national business gift consultants for Cutco, working directly with our corporate offices on a weekly, and I'm going to say daily basis at this point, the amount of time that these two gentlemen are putting in to develop the business gift program in all aspects. Training, building, and doing everything in their power to grow the program on a national level. And last, but certainly not least, one more pin for Mr. Rob Robincheck. Started in June of 1997. Guys, coming up on 14 years, $3.4 million in career sales. 12-time scholarship winner, Hall of Fame member of the 2003 class, and also holds some records. Holds that Midwest SC2 record of $153,000 and is the national record holder for the month of July at $133,000 and November at $140,000. Business gift sales on 169 orders, 420,000. #1 in business gift sales leaders the last 3 years with the biggest gift order of 26,000. In addition to running a business gift sales focus, Rob also runs a business gift mastermind program to help those looking to grow their biz program. The business gift results that we just mentioned here, it comes from the results of putting in the work. And we asked Rob, why does he think he does so well with business gifts? And he shared with us he believes that he excels in business gifts specifically because he has confidence that from working with over 200 individual business gift clients, he has consistency with our weekly activity. We have consistency with John. We have consistency with Andy. You've heard it from Deanna as well. Guys, consistency is truly a key. Innovation of new ideas and programs, and the work that he does to follow up to close the deal. I truly enjoy my dealings with Rob. I find him to be really one of the most humble and level-headed leaders that I work with in our CSP communities. When I think of Rob, I see him beating me on many of the calls that we have. He's already there, signed in, all ready to go. One of the first to show up to any event, any call, and he's always one of the first people to answer my call when we're reaching out and asking for some of his time or willingness to share, and how he does it even as one of our nation's cross trainers. Husband to his wife Katie for 6 years next month. Their beautiful family, including the fur babies, as she calls them. Guys, I am just very excited to have all three gentlemen here. I think it's saying something when I could take their entire 30, 35 minutes that they have just for listing the accomplishments individually over all three of them. But as much as it is great hearing about them, it's even better hearing from them. So I am honored to turn it over to our Business Gift Power Panel, Andy Jeanty, John Klobe, Rob Robincheck. Gentlemen, the Zoom is all yours.
All right. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, I have the privilege of kicking this off today. Very excited to do this with my very longtime friend, John Klobe, and my new super Cutco Rob friend it's been an awesome, awesome journey working with you guys. So I kind of wanted to start off and kind of give you guys like my thoughts behind this program. I was obviously in the very beginning of the federal program, and it's amazing to see where it is today. And I kind of see the business gift opportunity at kind of being right now what we call the silent opportunity. So yes, you hear some buzz about it, and some people are doing really well with it. Some people are dabbling, some people are thinking about it. But the reality is that it is the silent opportunity right now. This is the time where all the people that always say, well, I wish I would have been there in the beginning of the federal program. I wish I would have been there in the beginning of the Fair and Show program. I wish I would have been there for the CGC program. Well, guess what? You are here now. So you are here now, and you can determine what's going to happen next, kind of like what Deanna was talking about earlier. So what's our objective today, right? Our objective today, obviously, we cannot go through 5 hours of material, although we could. But our objective is to walk you through how to get some leads and basically get in front of more business owners right now, and then pitching them, which we're going to do a live pitch, and it'll be John and I, and I'll be a customer, and then the follow-up. This is kind of like the sequence of what needs to happen, right? Getting in front of people, pitching them, and following up if you have to, which most of the time you will have to. So I am going to focus on the first part. And the first part is kind of getting more leads, getting in front of more people. So there are some obvious avenues right now to get in front of more people and pitch them. And those are events, right? Obviously, not all events are back, but they are coming back, and it's a real thing. And regardless of if you have 5 events or you have 20 events, what can you do to maximize those events, right? So they are a viable avenue. And I have sold probably about 25% of my business gift sales at the booth or generated from the booth, right? So the next thing would be the networking groups. And this is something that all of you can do now, regardless of if it's show season or not show season. Those are always going to be available to you. BNI has its claim of fame, Chamber of Commerce of different cities and different counties, like all those type of things, put you in front of business owners and any type of networking groups that your clients may be running. Those things, we've heard about those things too. Business owners that have their own network, how can you just nurture that relationship and get in front of more business owners? The thing that I will tell you is the only reason why we're not selling business gifts is that people have a fear that they need to have this information, that information, this information, that information. You don't. You don't need any of that information. You just need to ask a few questions, get some interest, and pitch them what it is and ask for the order. And if that doesn't happen, then you ask for a follow-up. It's really that simple. And at this point, regardless if you're ready to just dive in and make this like a huge layer of your business, I will tell you, no matter what, have fun with it. keep pitching people and see what happens. You'll be surprised where the work can do itself just by presenting it. And I love sharing the story, and I'll give credit to Susan Saunders, whose mentee sold $90,000 just a couple months ago. This kid, his name is Jake, he was about $60,000 in career sales. And so, and why did this happen? It happened because she told him, hey, go back to your initials list and, you know, let's keep trying to get some referrals. Let's keep trying to do things and asking more questions, putting it out there. And it was one of his immediate contacts that worked for a company, and boom, it happened. 1,200 butcher knives. So the reason I start with that is because I know a lot of people on this call are not the Jason, the Curtis, the Josh, and I have like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. I have 5,000 customers too. That's okay, because it doesn't matter, right? The more you pitch it, the more it's going to happen. This kid was at $60,000 in career sales. Now, if you do have customers, whether you have 150 customers or 15,000, it doesn't matter. Like, let's pitch to them. So one thing that has been kind of fun for us is to kind of play around with the idea of approaching our past customers. The reality is that past customers are approachable any time of the year. They are your past customers, right? And it creates kind of like a reason to touch base with them. So what we've come up with is an approach, something to text them that you could also use for your emails. You can dress up the email however you want. I'm just going to focus on what to put in your texting base or however you want to do it, because that can already be something to turn around the sales for you immediately. So this, I'm just going to share it with you guys so you can see it. You could take a picture of it. One of the things we're excited about is sharing as much as we can when we can share it. And this is something we feel comfortable sharing now. So if you guys want to take a screenshot, I'll also share this with the rep development team. But this is the text right here. Hey, first name, Cutco Andy here. I'm working with businesses on their gifts for clients/employees. Does your company give anything at the end of a project/year? Note that there's also a line that skipped. And if you guys didn't know, on texting base, we can just do that and it only eats up one character. There's something beautiful about that because it makes it a little bit easier to read. And of course, you always want to end something with a question. Does your company give anything at the end of a project of a year? So you can make it your own, like Deanna talked about earlier, but the concept is there to pick up the interest of your customers and get some answers. Disclaimer, when I sent that text, I had the second highest response of any other text I've ever sent to my customers. So just to kind of put it out there. Some of them was no, whatever, but I got the energy, and a lot of them also created a reconnection for even in-home stuff. The bottom line, it's something different to reach out to them, to pitch them, and to reconnect with them. Okay, so now that I've given you this, I have two more things, and I'm going to pass it to John. So obviously, some people are going to respond yes, no, whatever, and you'll address that. If people answer yes, what's your next step? Pick up the phone, call them. Like the good old phone, just pick up the phone and call them. And no shame, I double tap pretty much every single person that I have to call. I don't have time to waste, and people don't answer their phones on the first time. So I would say double tap them if you have to. If they pick up, then you're going to pitch them, which Johnny's going to cover that in a minute. And then let's say they don't pick up, you could ask a follow-up question. Hey, would you be open to a 3 to 5 minute conversation to tell you how our gifting program can help your business? Something kind of simple, and I'll share that as well, just to kind of get their reaction. So, and then of course, if they answer yes, you call them. If not, you ask them when's a good time. Always ask exactly what you want. Don't be afraid to run around in circle. It doesn't matter. They're either going to say yes or no. And that's probably one of the most important things you'll see in common with people that are thriving in their business. They don't care about the short-term results. They just keep going, keep asking, keep going, keep asking, keep going, keep asking. So Okay, so my last point is, what do you do with those leads? No matter what it is, you need to put them in a home that you can go visit them and pick it up. Josh shared recently a document where he has like so much information about all these clients. It was so refreshing to see how he has all of those things. But let's start with something, right? So I recommend two options that are obvious. The first one, we have a spreadsheet on the business gift section on Vector Connect, and it basically has the tabs of what we feel right now is the most important information you should be gathering and keeping for all your follow-ups. And then the next thing, the second thing would be to use Vast Action and use that as your platform and create that list already of those prospects so you can market to them. So it's probably better to use a Vast Action, but if you don't have Vast Action, then at least start with a spreadsheet. You'll probably end up on Vast Action anyway. So, and then the next thing will be to pitch them. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to John, and I'll be the customer for John.
Thanks, Andy. I am excited to send that text out. I've got quite a few customers that I haven't pitched gifts to yet, and I think it's going to draw on a lot of business. This pitch that we're going to do is essentially the same pitch that I would do on any phone call, over a Zoom conference. It's the same pitch that I would do behind the booth or at a service event. And essentially it's based off of the Cutco demo, mention the problem with the traditional gifts and then show them how Cutco solves the problem. But let's go, we'll just dive right into it right now. Hey, Andy, thanks for your time this morning. I really appreciate it. What industry are you in?
I'm a builder.
Oh, awesome. How long have you been in business and how'd you get into building?
My dad was in the construction, so it's been in the family, I'd say about 12 years.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, most businesses give something to their clients or employees. Generally, it's a gift card, gift basket, bottle of wine, and they love these things, but they're quickly consumed and gone, and there's nothing left. So we take Cutco, which you're familiar with, so you know the quality, and we personalize it with the name of your clients or employees, or we can engrave it with your name, your logo, your website. This way they think of you often. It's the gift that keeps on giving because everybody eats and they're constantly reminded of you. Now, everybody loves a good knife, but what we found over the years is that most people don't have them. So the 1 to 2 pieces they get from you are their favorites that they use all the time. And if they already have good knives, then they actually appreciate it even more. It's like giving somebody that loves chocolates, premium chocolates. Now, it also creates referrals for you because your gifts are in the kitchen where their friends and family hang out. So they naturally spark conversations about you and your business for years to come. Lastly, depending on how they're engraved, they could be 100% tax deductible as advertising. Now, one of the things that our clients love about giving Cutco is our Build-A-Set program. We can help you build a collection for your clients or employees over time by giving 1 to 2 pieces every year or for different occasions. This makes your gifting very easy and systematic. Now, Andy, do you give gifts to clients, employees, or as referral gifts?
Usually mostly clients and employees.
Okay. And generally, do you give them at the end of the year or after each project?
After each project.
Okay, cool. Also, how much do you generally spend on gifts?
I don't know, maybe about $100 to $150.
Okay, perfect. And who usually makes these decisions for your business?
I usually make those decisions.
Okay, nice. Yeah, everybody loves gift cards. They're so easy to give, and I'm sure your clients appreciate it. The challenge is that gift cards just don't last, and they're consumed the fastest, and they leave the least impact. Cutco is a premium gift that your clients will enjoy using forever, and it's a powerful strategic branding tool for your business that also helps build stronger relationships. Can you see how giving Cutco can be more effective and make the same money work harder by giving something that is more unique and long-lasting?
Yeah, it's a good point. It doesn't last. I have been thinking about doing something different.
Okay, let me show you some options around that same price range. Did you see that email I sent you with the different gift options?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Let me show. All right, let's see. Go ahead and we'll head down a couple different options here. Let me know which ones kind of strike out at you that are around your same price range.
Oh, I see those scissors. I like those scissors.
Great choice. Yeah, I love that set. Yeah, most of our
Yeah.
clients, it is a great one. We have 2 shears in our home and 2 spreaders, and they're always dirty. Yeah, most
It's
of
a
our
lot more than I usually spend, though.
yes, most of our clients do end up spending a bit more on Cutco because they recognize the long-term benefits and the ROI of giving Cutco is worth the extra investment. Now, would this gift be something that you would consider giving to just your top clients, or should we look at a gift that fits the budget better that we can give to everyone?
Oh no, it has to be the same for everyone. The best.
Great. How many gifts do you generally give out each year?
Probably about 20. Hopefully.
Okay. So what do you want to start with 20 or go to 25 to take advantage of the extra discount? Remember, there's no shelf life with Cutco. Also,
I
we
like
do allow
that.
you to, sorry, we do allow you to split the interest, split the payments interest-free over 2, 3, 5, or 6 months. There's just a one-time admin fee to do so. This way you can pay for the gifts as you give them out.
I like that.
Okay, great. Now, as you can see, these gifts do come with the gift box that you see here. The price also includes engraving and shipping. There is a one-time setup fee for a new logo. Would you be interested in gift wrapping or a bow?
Sure. Let's do gift wrapping.
Sounds good. And what color do you want to do on the handles? You can do red, classic, or white.
I like the red. It stands out.
Great choice. It really stands out as well. And they always know where the good knife is. What do you want to engrave on there? The logo, name, cell, website?
Just the logo.
Okay. We'll send you a proof in about a week, and you'll receive them in 2 to 3 weeks. And how many payments did you want to do?
Just in full.
Okay. One last thing. Do you know anyone else who runs a business that these gifts would be a good fit for as well?
Probably my brother-in-law's, sister-in-law's, nephew's cousin.
Okay. I'll be sure to give him a call. Now, it is very likely, whether you're giving the pitch over the phone or if it's at a booth, that they do not make the decision themselves, or they make them at the end of the year, and they're going to end up telling you to follow up with them in October or November. What you want to do here is find out who these people are that are part of the decision-making process. Maybe it's a COO, secretary, partner, and schedule a time to follow up when all of them are there in the fall. I know I did say those dreaded words, follow up. I think this is where most of us miss our best opportunities. A couple days ago, I was looking through some of my numbers from the last few years on how much CPO came from my first call or at the booth, or essentially the first time that I pitched Cutco, and how much came from me having to follow up. There were less than 3% of my business gift sales, CPO-wise, were on the first pitch, show, or call. So if you aren't following up, you're missing 97% of your business gift sales. Or to put it another way, by incorporating following up into your business gift plan, you could increase your business gift sales by 30 times. That's what my numbers said. The fortune is in the follow-up. This is the work for the business gift section layer of your business. The follow-up is the work. We don't have to stand behind a booth to sell 5 to 10K. We just need to make a phone call. One thing that does help though, and Rob's going to go into a bunch more of this, but is putting 30 minutes on your calendar each week. Say it's Wednesdays from 9:30 to 10, where you make these calls. That way it gets done. That's all I've got. Rob, go ahead and finish this off with follow-up.
Sure. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, John. John, Andy, you guys did a phenomenal job there. So to wrap this thing up, this 3-part kind of process, it's important to note that all 3 parts are extremely important to have massive success in the business program. But understand what's really important is to have a consistent, thorough follow-up program to really keep the momentum going and be ready when they are ready, right? Timing's a big part of this. So note that you want to be prepared in your messaging, and what John did for a 1-call close, which happens often, but also to be prepared for follow-up meetings, which happens often as well, which can be because they may need approval of other decision makers that John talked about, or influencers, other people involved in the process. They need to get sign off on a budget, since the opportunity could be 5,000, 10,000, 50,000. And like John said, had a 100K order. So, again, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, or needing to put together final details and scope of the opportunity after the initial meeting or discussion. Now, the better you are at setting the stage for initial meetings, speeds up the process of getting the deal. But keep in mind, this is a process. If you're following these steps that I'll share with you, you really can increase your chances of success overnight. And I'm not in this program for the short game. And even though I've seen some massive success in the last, 3 short years since I've really started focusing on this program, I'm focused on the long game to get, to a $2 million year and beyond, that I truly see the vision and see where this is really going. Just yesterday, I sold an $11,000 deal that I was keeping in touch with the owner for the last 3 years. I even made a joke to him and to his staff that, hey, it's only taken, 3 years to get this meeting today, and today's the day. And, they all start laughing. They're like, oh yeah. But in last month, I called a company that I do a yearly check-in on and stay pleasantly persistent. And after 3 years, the owner said, yep, the timing's good. Let's go ahead and meet in August. Excited about, going over this in detail and putting this program together. So now what I'm going to share with you today is some key strategies that flow more from one meeting to the next, that I've taken from my personal experience that I feel really works really well. So the 5 key takeaways: 1, I won't spend a lot of time on this. Andy covered it. You need to have either a CRM or spreadsheet for follow-up, right? The gold is absolutely in the follow-up, and understanding that it does typically take 2 meetings or more to close a deal. So I want to make sure I am not missing timelines and details along the way. The sales cycle is different because typically more decision makers, bigger orders with different approval processes, and more details that are involved. But start this now before you get into the stage that I'm in, that I have hundreds of deals in the works and hundreds of companies I'm talking to, so you don't feel overwhelmed. So again, you can keep a very strategic and organized program. Number 2, engage interest. This is really key, right? You can see how well that meeting went. Now, very simple, basic thing is asking them after that call is done and you decide, hey, there's going to be a second meeting in place, to email their logo, PDF format, email it over, test the waters of how interested they are. Now, I give them within a week to send it over, but guys, keep in mind that they're really busy. So I don't always just rely on that. I actually get the name of their printing company, the marketing company, or whoever else would have their logo. Because why? I'm going to be proactive. Just because they don't send it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not interested. It just could mean that, hey, they just get busy, especially if you're talking the owner or president of a company, they have a lot of things on their plate. I also keep in mind that I actually ask them for a commitment to get the process started by making an initial investment of a sample. So again, we don't necessarily have to buy samples on our own. I'll simply ask them, hey, love to get, this program started. Most of the companies I work with, go ahead and at least get this program in place so we can actually see what their logo looks like, some of the engraving. So, what we can do is we can go ahead and make the initial set that you're looking at, or piece, or something along those lines. Now, some will say yes, some won't. But if they don't, again, that doesn't mean they're not committed. So I tell them, I'm actually willing to make an investment in your company, and I'll get a sample created. And so asking them, the next part of this is asking them to get the names of the other influencers or decision makers. So an example is I'm working the largest opportunity I've ever worked with in my career. And so I wanted to, when I got that next meeting scheduled, which is June 8th, pretty fired up about this one, is that I found out the COO is going to be in the meeting and the assistant to the president who I had the initial meeting with. And then I found out next step is those two people are not familiar with Cutco. They didn't own any Cutco. The next week, I actually hand delivered each of them a separate piece with a nice letter, just letting them know, wanted to get them their Cutco started, their collection, and excited about the next meeting that we have prepared and the date and all that. Also, you want to give them something that they're really excited about meeting, and that the next meeting is going to be worth their time. So preparing and let them know that I'll have some updated pricing information. I know maybe we just covered some general information, some ranges, things like that. I'll have some more updated information now that I know the scope of the opportunity. I'll have that sample created, which again, I've had so many opportunities. I show them what theirs looks like after I show all these different examples. I show them theirs, and their face just lights up, and they're like, wow. Yeah, and I always end, I say all those things I showed you, I'm sure you agree that look great, but we could both agree that this one looks the best, right? And you show them theirs, and they're like, yeah, you're right. This absolutely looks pretty incredible. And creating a customized program to their company. I let them know that every program I put together is a little unique and different. So it's not just a standard cookie cutter. I'm going to actually tailor whatever pieces and the build a set program and all these different ideas specifically so that, again, they're creating something really special for their company. The next part is setting that day and time for the follow-up meeting. Right? Getting something locked down on the calendar immediately is best. And that's when yeah, they're really excited about continuing down this path and talking more about what it looks like. But at least lock down a day during the week, a week of that month, or the morning or afternoon, what time's best for them. So at least I have a range, right? And so last week I was prospecting, and I actually just had a company that I talked to last week that he didn't want to necessarily commit to a exact date and time, but I got all those ranges and I put kind of a placeholder, if you will, on his calendar. And then he called me the next day and he said, Rob, that time won't work, but can we schedule a time actually with myself and my wife, who's actually part of this process, and she gets involved with a gifting appreciation program? Because again, he wasn't really that fired up about it. But because I pitched it the right way and I got him a soft commitment, and then he told his wife about it, she was really, really fired up about it. And then again, now it's just going to be a formality when I meet with them. The next piece, send thank you cards for the time for the first meeting, and mentioning that you're looking forward to that next meeting. Right? Just doing things that other reps and other people aren't doing to separate yourself from other people, right? They'll usually just send them an email or something just simple and basic. Just take a little bit extra time. It really does pay off. And the last piece, which I think is one of the most important after everything's in place for the next meeting, is do your homework. Yes, I said homework. I hate homework, and I hated it when I was in school. But I found out it's extremely important to find several things that are going to make your meeting, when you meet with them the second round, concrete and really, really deliver the goods. Find out who the company partners with, maybe suppliers, partners, other people that they work with, whether they retail or wholesale some of their products and services. Find out the company's mission statement, their taglines, the values they stand for, that you can actually relate back to Cutco and really tailor how this would be a great fit and why it would just make sense to do business together. And you can find this stuff when you have your first meeting, maybe in their office or just, talking to them, or online. Again, you can find anything online now. So let me just give you a quick example. One of the largest opportunities, again, I'm working on, I did some homework, and again, my meeting's still 2 weeks out, and I just want to be super prepared for this. So I found out, again, their product is 100% American made. Guess what? We are too. Again, a similar bond and something to relate with. Also, I found out they make the highest quality product in their field. And actually, if I Googled it, it even says the highest quality in their on their website. Their tagline is to build the exceptional. How cool is that? Again, ours is a high quality, exceptional product. Again, this is going to, relate exactly extremely well. The third piece is I found out they actually give stuff with their product, but they just give stuff, giveaways, cheap things, right? And so what we're talking about, or what I'm going to be able to relate with them, is that we're talking about getting heirloom pieces, artifacts, not just stuff. People don't want more stuff, right? Again, they give away their stuff, but they keep all this, heirloom artifact piece, things like that. And the last piece that I saw on their website, and I found out that we relate extremely well, they said unparalleled service. They actually are building a brand new service center. Guess what? There's not a company in the world that I truly believe, and I've seen or I've had a chance to hear yet, that doesn't have a guarantee better than ours. Forever guarantee, the way that we service, the way that we take care of customers, and again, being free service, coming out, sharpening all this, it's absolutely incredible, right? Those four main points is really gonna, I feel, tailor really well to create my largest opportunity in my entire career. Now, lastly, with this whole idea is being prepared and doing your homework. The next year, when you meet with that account, you come prepared to review what's next in their build a set. So you have that, or a theme program, or a year-round gifting program. You are already, so it's just a formality. You just spend a few minutes talking about the details, and then the rest of the time, just continue to build a relationship. The goal is to serve that customer for a lifetime, not one time. For a lifetime, not one time, because it is really about the relationship with business gifting, not about the product. Product is great, right? And all that stuff is awesome, but the relationship you build with them is, again, a forever relationship as well. So I'll just finish with, if you're prepared, you follow the process and you commit to the work, you could have a program that will take you as well to $2 million a year and beyond. Thanks for your time.